Welcome to the Rusted Garden. Today I want to talk about staking your plants, trellising, and I'm going to show you how to build a couple trellises for your beans back there, cucumber plant down there. I've already have a lot set up. I talked to you about this a lot. Those are watermelons growing up there, just 3 6-foot poles tied together at the top, make a little teepee, let everything grow up there. I put in wire cages. But sometimes you don't want to spend money, or you want to spend the least amount of money to really take care of your trellising needs. Those beans back there are Asian red beans. They're going to get 8 feet tall. That is a bush cucumber, I think, but it's still going to get to height. I'm going to treat it as if it needs a lot of space to climb. Let me show you some of the materials and a couple of options that you can get, and I'll show you some options if you're on a budget. Those are 1x2 8-foot stakes that you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's. They're $1.97 each. These are 8-foot 2x2s. Extremely solid. I use these a lot for my tomato plants. They are $3.77 each, so cost does add up. You can get some bamboo 5-foot, 6-foot poles there. They're thin, but they are $3, I think, and 97 cents for 6 of them. Now, you can also get stuff for free. You need to have the right tools. You're going to need some pruning shears, maybe a sawzall or a hand saw. This is my fig wood that I cut down, and I'll cut it in a second and just show you how I took care of it. But you can check your trees, your apple trees, maple trees, oak trees. This is my fig. I cleaned it up a little bit, but you can use the right tools and collect yourself a lot of wood that you can use for trellising. When you're thinking about garden supports and trellises, start with what's free. This is my fig. It's about 9 years old. You can look at your fruit trees, your regular trees. See what branches you want to pull out. In Maryland Zone 7, when January comes, February comes, if I don't wrap this well, some of the wood dies off. And you can see all that beautiful dead wood up there that's perfect for trellising peas, bush beans, bush cucumbers. Now, to get in and take care of this, you want to make sure you have quality tools. I highly recommend bypass pruning shears. If you don't know what they are, they look like this. These are from Kate's Garden. I'll talk more about them as we're building the bean trellis. So the bypass pruning shears make quick work of new growth. They can handle thicker second-year growth, no trouble. And your hand strength will take care of that. When you get to larger wood, you're going to need a lot of hand strength to get through there. So I recommend not only getting the bypass pruning shears, but also ratcheting pruning shears. And they work simply by placing it on, squeeze once, ratchet twice, and again. You don't need a lot of hand strength, and it will cut right through the thicker wood. Let me show you another example. Now, the ratchet pruners are great for thicker diameter wood. It takes about 3 or 4 squeezes. See if I can do this one-handed. If I can do it one-handed, you can certainly do it with 2. Squeeze once, squeeze twice, 3 times, 4 times, and you make quick work of the thicker diameter wood. And a ratchet type pruning shears are perfect if you have weaker hand strength. They will really assist you in your garden. All right, let me clean this up. I'm going to take out all the dead wood, show you how I set that up for growing peas. This is something you can use in the fall. And then we'll get to building the bean trellis. I'll talk to you a little bit more about these shears in Kate's Garden and just show you what else they can do. I actually use them to cut through metal, which are not recommended, but if they can cut through metal, they're going to take care of all your gardening needs without any issue. Fig tree is all cleaned up. The bypass shears and the ratcheting shears made quick work of that. I was able to cut out what I needed. I also wanted some bigger branches. I wanted 6-foot branches, so I had to go down to the base. And when you get to 1-inch, 2-inch diameter branches, you're going to need the right tools for that too. So right there is a sawzall, a circular saw. Any brand works as long as it's battery powered to let you get in and do what you need to do. We're going to cut points on these, and we're going to use these 6-foot fig branches for a cucumber plant, for a tomato plant, and again, that's absolutely free. The shears from Kate's Garden were perfect for managing these smaller branches, which you can use for the bush beans, you can use for peas. I'm going to show you just how to cut the points on everything that I just showed you and get set up for building your trellises and your stakes. So for the smaller diameter wood, we're going to use the bypass pruning shears or the ratcheting shears to cut points on there. Kate's Garden is a family-run business. It's named after their daughter. Now for the smaller diameter, you could go ahead and use the bypass shears. just give it a squeeze, cut a nice point on there. If you have issues with hand strength, the ratcheting works really well. 1 squeeze, 2 squeeze, 3 squeeze, it'll cut right through there, and you don't need as much hand strength. As you get to a larger diameter branch, you're going to need the ratcheting variety, and again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it'll cut right through there. So the right tools for this time of work are bypass pruning shears or ratcheting shears. Let's go over to the bigger branches. We're going to use the power tools to put points on there. So when you're cutting 1 inch, 2 inch, and even up to 3 inch branches out of a tree, you're probably going to need something like a Sawzall. This allows you great mobility. You can just get in where you need to and just cut the branches down. Now, you can't always cut them at a point when you're in there trying to get to the branch, so that's where I use the circular saw. And you should definitely wear goggles. And you're just going to put this at a nice angle and cut it into a nice sharp point, and that'll be perfect for the ground. Same thing if you're using the 1x2s, you're going to have to put a point on there, nice angle, make sure you're wearing protective gear, and put a point on there. And then we have our 2x2 stakes, same exact thing, nice angle, and put a point on there. I'm going to do all this, set up all the stakes, and then we'll get to building the different stakes and trellising systems for your plants. So here are the different trellises I built using those different materials. In my last video, I talked about this specific area and how the sun comes up on the left and it tracks to the right. You really want to make sure you set your trellises up so when you have a wall of plants, that wall doesn't cast shadows from the sun onto whatever you're growing here. So if you set them up to be perpendicular to where the sun is, really when it tracks from 10 to 4, the shadows won't cast onto your tomato plant, so you can actually grow more in here. If I, did the wall across this way, I'm going to really kill off this space. Now, if you want to do that, you're going to want to bring your trellis right to here so that the shadows fall into the grass away from your plants and the tomatoes would go in front of it. So think about where you're putting your trellises. Using the fig wood, that's what I would set up to grow peas up those, absolutely free. You could grow bush beans too, bush cucumbers. I like this space right in here. This is where I have my cucumber. The only thing I had to use was a piece of jute right there in the middle to tie it together, but those are the 6-foot pieces of the fig tree. One thing I wanted to show you that's really important is when you're dropping a stake in, especially when you're using something from a tree, is to make sure you grab the stake down low, because if you put your weight up high, it's going to bend and you're liable to snap it, and you could actually push that into a part of your body. You don't want that to happen. So hold it down low and just push it straight into the ground, and that will set up your stake for tomatoes or for other plants. But make sure, again, this is really a safety issue. Hold it down here when you're pushing it into the ground. And then I dropped in the 2x2s right into there for the beans. They're going to grow at least 8 feet tall. And I just took the jute and strung it, straight across at the bottom so that I could get the first branches of the beans onto there. And then I just did a diagonal, straight across, diagonal, straight across, and when it gets up to here, I will continue it up the rest of the trellis. But here are the different options. You might notice the cucumber looks a little bleached. It actually got sunburned because I was growing it as a seed start and it was under my deck in some shade really. So when it got the full sun today, it got burned. But I really like using the natural wood for your trellises and for your stakes. I want to show you one more place. You're going to need some other tools too, a big ball of twine, a mallet with a good heavy head on there for driving the stakes into the ground, especially when you're using the 2x2 stakes or the 1x2 stakes. Water the area first. This way it's a lot easier to put the stake in, but you're going to want a mallet or something heavy to really drop this in about 1 foot deep and secure it. So I'm growing 3 cucumbers here. I'm going to thin them down to the 2 strongest plants. We're using a single post. It was $3.77. And to save yourself some money, rather than using 2 posts and stringing jute all the way across, we can use 1 post, pick up a roll of basic chicken wire. 1 roll will last you a long time. It has multiple purposes in the garden. And the steel in the pruning shears from Kate's Garden are used for Japanese cutlery. It's a high carbon steel. They aren't made for this, but I just wanted to show you what they can do. They cut through the chicken wire, even multiple strands, like it's nothing. I really love these pruning shears. I highly recommend them. You can use my code, The Rusted Garden. I will attach it to the video and in the description if you want to go to the website, Kate's Garden, and check out the pruning shears and the ratcheting shears. I'll use the second half of this chicken wire to go all the way up the 8-foot post, and for $3.77, a couple bucks worth of chicken wire, we have another trellis. And again, this is planted to the back of this garden so that the shade is cast away from the plants that are growing around it. It actually falls into my grass. All right, let me just show you the trellises I have set up. So that's your basic 6-foot pole just dropped in there using the tomato cages. This is the shelving rack that I've had now probably at least 4 years, maybe 5 years. Bought that at Home Depot or Lowe's, and I use these for cucumbers, for beans. I just drop stakes right into the ground and then tie the shelving unit to those, and they've lasted really 4 or 5 years. Definitely worth the money. Same setup there using the beans. Coming across this way, I have more beans growing just up a single 2x2 post. That works really well. I think those are Kentucky pole beans. Another setup right in there, that is a cucumber plant. Going to grow up the clothing rack from Home Depot. Let me walk across this way, show you a couple more real quick, give you some ideas of what you can use in your garden. This actually is my hops vine, and I needed something that would be about 12 feet tall. So this is 2 8-foot posts screwed together, but they collapse. So I can actually bend this down right in the middle. This way I can harvest the hops. You probably don't need something like that, but I do have a video on it. Over here are the 1-inch by 2-inch posts, and they're just set up 1, 2, 3 next to each other. Tie them off in the middle, and that will be a place where I grow beans. It's also the evening. If you notice, I've dropped a little bit of dust on here to kill some beetles that have been crawling around. Go ahead and drop your dust out in the evening when the pollinating insects go away. In the morning, wash it off. This way you're only targeting the problem areas. And coming back around here, 2 posts. We'll put jute in there, and we'll let the beans that are down there crawl up through there. And again, another tripod set up using the 1x2s. Hope you enjoyed the video. This gives you some ideas of how you can use trellises in your garden. Please check out my seed shop at www.therustedgarden.com. Thanks for watching.